Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. All right, so I have a small article here from Wired. I'll link it for you down below in the description. We'll talk a teeny bit about it. There's not much to it. I'm using this more as an open gate way for me to introduce a deeper discussion regarding this. So it won't be too long, but I do want to get my point across and I want to raise some questions, raise some eyebrows, have you guys think a little bit about this and tell me like what kind of situation, what kind of bullshit are we really dealing with? And I want to keep it a little honest here. So the Affordable Connectivity Program ended back in May. That left thousands of households, of course, without internet. So they're saying, according to this article, the death of the U.S. government's Affordable Connectivity Program, ACP, is starting to result in a disconnection of internet service for Americans with low incomes. They're saying on Friday, so last Friday, Charter Communications reported a net loss of 154,000 internet subscribers that it said was mostly driven by customers canceling after losing the federal discount. About 100,000 of those subscribers were reportedly getting the discount, which in some cases made internet services free to the consumer. So that's basically all this article says. Now, with that being said, so the program ended in May. We have 100,000 subscribers that we know of from Charter leaving because the program ended. So what does that say? It says that there was a lot of people depending on that, right? Now we're just talking about Charter, Spectrum. We're not talking about the cancellations coming from other internet service providers, right? We're not talking about Verizon Fios. We're not talking about any other company. We're literally just talking about Charter right now, Spectrum. So we got 100,000 subscribers that were reportedly getting the discount, which in some cases made the internet service for free. This ACP program was introduced during COVID, right? It was a way for consumers to kind of break through what was going on, keep each other connected during difficult times. It was kind of a way to kind of ease the burden of the pandemic. A lot of people were put out of a job due to the pandemic for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't want to get the shot. Maybe their employer shut down. The time that customers were not spending as much money, if you're in like a retail type business, dramatically hurt these businesses. We've seen a lot of big name companies took a lot of beatings and many of them went under. We had, was it Bed Bath and Beyond? It's just so many, right? I'm not going to go through the list of all these companies, but we saw a lot of big name companies close their doors because they simply were just not making enough money. They weren't making enough money before the pandemic, and that just really kind of just put the nail in a coffin for them, right? So what am I getting at? What I'm saying is, the U.S. government got people hooked on this ACP program. And I'm not really political, but what I can tell you is that it seems like, our government likes to kind of, introduce you to something and then take it away. Right? They kind of want you to be depending on them, but then they don't at the same time. I don't know how you can play both sides. It's like, we'll give you a bite, but you can't have the whole sandwich kind of thing. Or maybe we'll let you have half the sandwich today, but tomorrow you won't have anything. We won't give you any food, And that's kind of like what happened here with this ACP program. A lot of people were still depending on it. Now, they're saying there's not enough money. This is why, right? I think for like a month throughout June, they covered half the expense or up to $15 or something like that for some customers that were still using internet service with companies like Spectrum and some other ones. And Spectrum did a decent job. They made an affordable, cheap plan that, most people can afford. But again, there are some households that are that tight that they really can't swing it. They're really watching every penny. And these are hardworking, honest people that get up every day. Sometimes they got to take public transportation and they got nothing left at the end of the week. They got kids. They plan to have a family. Maybe at the time when they had the family, they had good money. Maybe they were working better jobs. Things happen, right? Life happens. Sometimes you get blindsided and, financially you get hit. And that could be the case here, right? For many. So it's not like, okay, they went out and had 10 kids and they were being irresponsible. No, not necessarily. They might have been in a good position when they started their family. Things might have happened. They might have had to take, a lower paying job. And as a result of that, they have no money. They're just barely getting by. The pandemic wasn't kind to many, as I said. And here we are with many consumers finding themselves without internet service, right? Now, again, no money, our government says. They got no money to continue this program. There's been talks of other alternatives. Those are already being shut down, right? They're being shut down. They're being dismissed. And then we have USF, which is the Universal Service Program, which basically helps, it was primarily for voice customers and helping customers get access to like wireless service and whatnot. And now, they've basically dipped their toes in broadband. So they're providing, low cost internet service to consumers that are basically, it's very similar to like the ACP program, right? But the problem here is, voice providers pass their cost of supporting USF on to, the voice customers as a fee on customer bills. And these fees have risen dramatically as a voice revenues decline. So it's a problem, right? And so what are we talking about? Why is this a problem here? Why has the ACP program come to an end? That is the question. We have no money. Again, it just keeps coming back to we have no money, right? That's what I keep saying. We have no money, but yet we have tons of money to pay for many different things, right? We are able to fund multiple projects. We're able to give money to multiple countries. We're able to give money to people that have just come into the country. And I'm not getting too political, and I'm not going there. I'm not going to that dark side of this. But what I'm saying is, we're being told that there's no money for something as simple as helping consumers of low-income families pay for internet or get mobile service so that maybe they can find a job or, their children can do homework or whatever the need is. We don't have the money for that, but we have money to do everything else that we shouldn't be doing with it. How does that make sense? I think that in 2024, the internet has never been more needed, and in many cases, a requirement of life. Like you gotta have it. You gotta have it. Imagine a person that has no access to the internet. What is this, the Stone Age? Like, how do you get by today without a smartphone? How do you get by without internet at home, a laptop or a computer? Like, what kind of planet do you want? Maybe if you're 85 years old, I get it. But if you're some kind of youth, how do you not have access to this? How do you not want access to it? And how do you not have access to it? Don't you use the internet for something in your house? Cable? Again, a smartphone? Like everybody's got a smartphone now. Even 80-year-olds are walking around with iPhones and they know how to use it really well. So my point is, how is there no money when we're giving money away to everybody else to not have this program reinstated, to not have some kind of budget for it? Even if it's not the full amount, why is it not at least, what was it, $30 a month? Why is it not at least $20 a month? Why has that not been made an official, benefit of being part of a low-cost income family? You know how they have like public assistance and Social Security? Like, why isn't this an official, official kind of benefit that you can give to low-income families? Obviously, some people will scam you. Some people make, very good money and they will try to cash in on this. There should be a requirement that you should have to furnish some kind of proof, obviously, as you've always had to do with the ACP program, but continue that process. Let them see that you don't have the money, and then continue with it. Continue with this program. Allow consumers to use the internet. Let them be part of, humanity, right? The sad thing is that, and this is not a joke, there really are some people that are shut down. They don't have access, and it's pretty bad, right? There are neighborhoods when it really is that bad. And they're probably sitting at McDonald's or Burger King or Starbucks or wherever they can just to jump on free Wi-Fi. And they're probably out all night. They can't even go home. And it's that bad. And there's money. That's what I'm saying. There is money. And, you can keep kids that are out getting into trouble home. doing homework, studying, even if they're just sitting on YouTube. At least they're not out getting into trouble. They're not fighting. They're not breaking the law, right? There's so many reasons behind this. And the fact that they haven't found some funding when they were pushing it like crazy, they were pushing it like you wouldn't believe to get people hooked on it, right? And now they want to take it away. Not to mention, like, imagine if you're Spectrum or Verizon or T-Mobile or AT&T, the amount of customers that you've lost now because they simply cannot afford your service anymore. And then these reports come out about how there's so much turnover and so much churn, customers leaving. Of course they're leaving. They could never afford the service to begin with. And T-Mobile and Verizon and Spectrum, and they were all making money. They were all getting paid. The government was helping them out. They were boosting up the businesses, and it was a good thing. But now these companies are left high and dry. Now they have to reevaluate their plans again. And it's just a whole giant mess all around. It's just one giant circle of a mess. And there's money. That's my point. There's money. So there's no need for all these reports, how we're hearing about all this churn from all these companies, and all these consumers are now left without internet service when they don't need to be. There's plenty of money to go around for services like this. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.